You're tuned in to My 95.1 Sports Zone, the podcast for students by students. We're bringing you the latest highlights, hot takes, and behind-the-scenes stories from all things sports right here from the Killeen ISD Career Center. From Friday night lights to buzzer beaters and everything in between. If it's KISD sports, we're talking about it. Let's dive in. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the My 95.1 Sports Zone podcast, and we're going to try to get right into it. We had some technical difficulties, recorded like 10 minutes, and then realized we weren't recording.
Yeah.
Yep, so
chip was full.
Yeah, we're not going to go extensively into it, but Harker Heights versus Cedar Hill 28-14. Score does not represent how the game actually went. Harker Heights had down in the bag the entire way through. Yeah, Duncanville 35-14. Very close game, and not
over
a bad
Temple.
game. Yep. Oh yeah, over Temple. Not a bad game for who they were playing.
Definitely.
Coppers Cove, different story. 63-6. They lost to DeSoto.
56-0 at halftime, like David said.
Yep. And tell us that was Ellison 50-24 against Richmond.
54-20. Yeah, 54-20. Struggling game for Marlon Smith. Had 3 interceptions on 3 straight drives. Unfortunate for him, but I believe he'll come back better next year. Their offense, just couldn't really run the ball. And one part that isn't getting talked about, we want to blame, people saying Marlon Smith was the problem. And I'm not trying to play the blame game here, but that defense gave up 6 yards per carry and gave up 226 yards, I want to say, on the ground.
Yeah, not a
That's a lot. And then they gave up 331 passing yards. So it's kind of hard when your defense is
almost 600 total yards of offense.
It's just a complimentary sport. And, when your defense isn't good, you can't really turn the ball over, let alone on 3 straight drives. You just can't really turn the ball over knowing your defense isn't really good. I wouldn't say it isn't really good, but, it's, has some flaws and it's very
that's
questionable.
The offense, too, right? Because obviously the defense, you're expecting them to stop them, but 3 interceptions, come on.
Come on, that can tire a defense
out.
out.
Exactly. Eventually they're going to score. You're in the playoffs, defending state champions.
Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster, if you want to put it like that.
Now,
well, real quick, next week, or this week, the only team in Killeen to move on, Harker Heights, is going to play Forney at Mansfield.
Yeah, Newsom Stadium.
Yeah, there you go, Newsom Stadium, and we'll be there, I'll be there broadcasting it with my co-broadcaster Russell and Mr. Griffin. We'll be at the game. Listen on My 95.1 KMYB. Radio Killeen. And David, we can move on.
It is officially my favorite season of the year. It is basketball season, baby. And we have a lot of talent in this district and Killeen area in general. Ellison, the number 10 team in TABC rankings in Class 5A, dominated Bastrop 71-15 in their first game. This is a very young group. This is going to be a very defensive-minded group led by senior guard Sean Parks and Jacob Tolbert. Definitely great addition right there. And then versus Round Rock Rouse. This was a pretty intense game, second game of the year, 67-58. And with 2 minutes left, it was a 2-point game. So, Sean Parks had 34 of them games. Expect a lot of high-scoring ball games from Sean Parks this year. He's really stepping into the role. And the big question is, can he lead a team like JoJo and Jamiron Keller has the past couple of years? Shoemaker, this is a very underrated team in my opinion. They returned 2 of their leading scorers, DeAnthony Moore, mind you, in their 76-66 win over Chisholm Trail, dropped 40 points in a win. And then they won 73-62 over Sengar. 2 pretty decent teams from the Fort Worth area. They went up there and got some wins. And then these 2 play each other December 2nd. I'm pretty sure in 2 weeks after the following break. That game's going to be packed intense and definitely going to be a really good game.
Yep. Dang, 71-15 against Bastrop. It's a
really good game. Now, David was telling me it was basketball season, so I decided to also make, a little list of mine now. Quick disclaimer, I don't know too much about basketball in high school, so I don't really know too much. But, at number one, I have Ellison. Like David said, Jacob Tolbert is a nice addition. They still have guys like Sean Parks, etc. I just think they're a really good team, and, they're always going to be a great defensive team, mind you. That team is always going to be great defensively. They're going to get in you, going to pick you up 94 feet, and they're going to make you struggle. And at number 2, At number 2, I have Shoemaker. Like David said, they still have Barris Henry. They still have D'Anthony Moore, and they still have Trey Walker, aka like I like to call Sauce Walker.
Hey, he's coming off an injury, man. If y'all don't know, he has been out for a couple months with dealing with the injury. He comes back before district, so that's a huge pickup. And they also bring back Caden Logan and Damani Dale Allison, 2 defensive and hustlers. And Caden Logan come back, but still have young additions who's moving up to varsity this year. Jeremiah Maddox, a defensive guard. This is a really athletic and defensive and scoring team. This is a good overall around team skill set. If they can put it together, it's going to be a really good team.
And listen, and like you said, I really like their team. I've been knowing some of these guys personally for a long time, like Jeremiah Maddox, Caden Logan, like you just said, D'Anthony Moore. And I've been knowing Damani Dale Addison for a long time, and also Barris Henry and Trey Walker, but specifically Jeremiah Maddox and D'Anthony Moore and Caden Logan. Those guys are like really good, and I really like the addition of Jeremiah Maddox. That guy, he is a really great defensive guy. This guy really knows how to, he knows how to really pressure you. He knows how to contest your shots. He knows your weaknesses.
Yep.
Even when you think you have him beat, you really don't. He's going to make you work for every single shot, and I believe this team could really challenge Ellison for the best team in the area.
Yeah.
And at number 3, I have Chaparral. And now listen, I know in football.
Here we go again.
gosh.
Just like in football.
Listen, in football, things didn't go so well. But in basketball, I think David and Gio can admit their basketball team is better than their football
They're pretty
team.
decent. So here
They have Damani Mays. Let me
let me give you my real analysis. I've seen them with my own 2 eyes in a scrimmage against Shoemaker. Defensively is where they're going to struggle.
The loss of Jacob Tolbert really is going to hurt, I think, and Nazir Duncan, and especially Willie Holsomdorf. I think Willie Holsomdorf's defense was really key to their team.
They still return their big man. They return 6'7", no pun intended. Carlos, long, lengthy, active big, which is really going to be their vocal point of their team, to be honest with you. I just want to see if they can put it together. And they were able. They're in a not so tough district. Ellison and Belton are really going to be contending. Now, can they get to that 3rd spot and jump whoever Waco University? Is that the question? Because London Smith is most likely going to go to Baylor University in December and graduate early. Will they be able to compete, Brandon?
I believe they will. And you can say y'all two can say I'm being a homer, but David indirectly without saying it, he indirectly admitted that their basketball team is actually good. It's better than their football team. Can we all agree with that, Gio and David?
Yeah.
Their basketball team is definitely better. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Chaparral's basketball team make playoffs last year? Now I know they lost in the first round,
the 4th seed.
but it's
again. Actually, I'll give them credit where credit's due. They faced off a good Red Oak team and they competed.
I think like you said, defensively is where they're going to struggle. I think really losing Willie Holsomdorf is going to struggle. Like, it's going to be a big.
That's another point. Killeen,
yes,
the 6A district is not as tough as it was last year. Killeen has not won many games, but if I'm Coach Harris over there, he has a really chance to. He has talented kids. They're really bought in. I think they have a chance to overtake and get into the playoffs this year. Midway lost to Chaparral by almost 40. Carpers Cove lost at least 6 seniors last year who were all starters, and one was a 6-man. That's going to be a brand new team. Brian's a very, very young team also. So if Killeen can put it together, I can see him sneaking into that 4th spot, man.
Yeah, and remind me again where Ellison ended up finishing the season last year.
Real quick. State semifinals,
right? Now, if there's one thing about me, right, I just now getting the basketball about 2 years ago, 4 years ago is when I first started watching it, right? But if there's one thing I like, it's defense. People play physical defense and good defense, right? So if Ellison and I believe what you said, Chaparral's gonna struggle with defense, right? Ellison's gonna play good defense, and Shoemaker too. I believe they have a chance to win a game, any game that they play. You're playing good physical defense, so that's my take on it. Obviously, I feel like you have to put Ellison as the number 1 team. I mean, state semifinals last year.
Yes, but the thing is, they lost a lot, man.
They really did. JoJo McIver being the main.
They returned 3 starters: Sean Parks, Chandler, and Elijah Bath. They got along guys: Messiah Lynch, Dwayne Castile. There's a lot of young guys who's going to step up in big moments and make plays for them. That's the big question. Can they step up? Can Coach Jones get those guys bought into the Ellison program, step up and make plays? first-year varsity guys. And their first test will be straight up honest. You'll be December 2nd coming off the break. It's going to be a packed environment. All the kids are going to be there. The whole city's going to be there. It's going to be at Ellison. And guess who they're playing? They're playing a crosstown rivalry against Shoemaker. And mind you, I don't want this to be the mistake.
They're hosting it? Is it at their venue?
It's at Ellison.
They're hosting.
It's going to be at Ellison. It's going to be a packed crowd. It's going to be a loud environment. Ellison has not lost at home in a while. So this is going to be a big challenge for Shoemaker too, man.
That game is. Do they play twice? Will they play at Shoe?
No.
Or is it just once?
It's just once this year.
Wow.
That's big pressure for city bragging rights.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Man, that's kind of crazy because just in the past it's always been they play twice, once at Shoe and once at Ellison. They can at least get their get back. But
yeah,
is that game of the year?
Potentially. Well, I think that only depends on how good. Because doesn't Ellison have to play Chaparral and Killeen, right? They have to play Chaparral.
I want y'all to hear this stat. Ellison has not lost a home basketball game in 3 years. 12-0, 10-0, 10-0. Shoemaker gonna have a tough time. I think out of any time with the type of Ellison team, this is the chance where they can get them at home.
Do you think Shoemaker can win that game?
I think they can. It's a lot of unknown on both squads. Sean Parks and D'Anthony Moore, I feel like kind of level each other out. Then we have Barris Henry and Elijah Bath, kind of the two bigs. I think Barris Henry is more skillful and can stretch the floor a bit more. But what people don't know, Elijah Bath has dropped a lot of weight and he's looked a lot more athletic. This game's going to be very interesting. It's going to come down to coaching. It's going to come down to a big-time adjustment, too.
You said December 2nd, right? We're literally 2 weeks away. If you had to predict and you had to bet money on it, who would you pick?
I will be undecided. I go to Shoemaker. I'm going to be unbiased. I'm going to use my basketball knowledge here. If I were to say something, Ellison is the favorite. They're at home. It's going to be a packed-out environment. The gym can't really hold a ton of people, but I guarantee you it's going to be loud. The city's going to be brought out, and it's going to be a big test for Shoemaker, man.
That's respectable. Do you know what? That's an honest, respectable opinion. Yeah. And that, that's a very good take. I'm not going to be biased. I went to Shoemaker freshman year, but like David said, using my basketball knowledge, I would probably say Ellison should and will be favored, by at least a good 5 or 6 points. That's not bad. You know what I'm saying?
No,
what are your thoughts on that game, Gio?
Gotta watch him play first. So like I said, we're gonna go over there. We'll commentate on a couple of those, see what's up. But
if y'all don't know, Shoemaker has really beat Ellison at home when Shoemaker is at home. I don't know when's the last time Shoemaker has beat Ellison at Ellison. This will be a big time win for Shoemaker, but this will also be a big time win for Ellison on the flip side because guys will step up into a packed environment. They're the number 10 ranked team in 5A, and they pick up a dub and show how Ellison is still Ellison.
There we go. So if that's everything we got, Brandon, you got anything?
One last thing I got to say is I'm actually pumped for this basketball season. I believe we're gonna be in for a very entertaining one. Yes, every team in the area is talented and has guys and they have skills, and I believe everybody is the right coach for their team.
David, you got anything?
Come out and support, man. These basketball environments should be on fire. It's not like you're going to be outside in the heat anymore. You're in a gym, has AC. Come out and support KISD.
Well, when it gets cold, it's going to have the AC where they can heat it up in the gym. So you're going to be in a perfectly indoor venue.
No excuses now. No, come see your kid. Come see him play. But I don't have anything, so that's it. That's going to be a wrap on today's episode of the My 95.1 Sports Zone podcast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.